Salvete omnes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek. And we're on to the second half of the game, or at least not counting the fortress stages. I suppose it could be the middle third of the game. Next up is Astro Man stage. Earth below us, drifting, falling. Yeah, this stage always reminds me of the song Major Tom, and vice versa. Because there's a bit of a backstory there. My dad just randomly happened to find, or maybe not randomly, but he happened to find the video of that song in German on YouTube. In German it's referred to as Völlig losgelöst, rather than Major Tom. And he thought I'd be interested in it, and I was, and then I thought, wait a minute, didn't Roland Mithril use that song in his Astro Man Perfect Run outtake video? Or Perfect Run video for his outtakes? And I checked, and turned out I was right. So now, I guess they've just become associated in my mind. Of course, I think that was the last series of videos he did with the music, because of some copyright Nazi whining about him using copyrighted music, even though it had absolutely no bearing on anything like that. Like, forget the people who actually download entire albums illegally and pirate $300 programs and stuff like that. What we need to crack down on is the ones who use 10 seconds of copyrighted music in completely unrelated videos. Those are the people who are ruining our economy. Yeah, the WNG or whatever, whoever they were, can suck a really large, filthy horse's rear end.
Let's do it!
But, in any case, time for Astro Man stage. And he has the most robotic-sounding voice of any of them. So, Astro Man stage is a sort of virtual reality kind of deal. Oh, and yeah, it has these guys. If you forgot, you'll remember in a hurry. And those guys. There are all kinds of annoying enemy types in this stage. And see that polyhedron in the background? That indicates when the platforms will be visible and when they won't. If it's shaped like a star, or concave. If it's concave, then the platforms are out. If it's convex, then they're not. This is actually the closest thing that Mega Man 8 has to disappearing blocks. And I don't think these really count as disappearing blocks. In fact, Mega Man 8 doesn't have any disappearing blocks. It's the only game in the Mega Man series that doesn't. I mean, in the original series, at least. I suppose this could be a good thing for some. So now we're in what's going to take up the bulk of my time with this stage. The looping mazes. Let's see here. Yeah, see that skull platform up there? Where is it? What's up there? There it is. Basically, that teleports you to the next area, but you have to get to it, and you have to get rid of the gate that's blocking it. And to do that, you have to find your way through the maze and hit the right switch. And if you're successful, you can get up there. If you're not, you just have to keep kind of banging your head on it until something works. And I'll warn you in advance that I do not have a perfect solution for this. I am not familiar enough with these looping mazes to already know where exactly I'm supposed to go ahead of time. So if this video turns out to be the longest of my Mega Man 8 LP videos, then oh well. Let's hope it doesn't also turn out to be the most boring, I guess. Okay, of course it won't be helped by the fact that I'll be trying to get all of the bolts as well. Okay, where the heck am I? So I want that gate up. Time to get that bolt. I haven't seen another red switch in here. Red switch. What is this, Super Mario World? Well, there's a red switch. And I think that pathway probably would have gotten me to the exit as well. If you have the tornado hold, I think you can shortcut some of the jumps and stuff in this area. Okay, that was the correct red switch to unlock great rewards. Oh, and that was it. That was... Oh, dang it. Well, this thing loops around, so all I have to do is keep going and... There's another one of these later in this stage, but we'll get to that when I come to it. Ah, you jerk. There we go. And now we come to a sort of auto-scrolling area. The Collapsing Tower of Doom. You have to be constantly on the move in here, and it helps to have the area memorized so you know where all the enemies and stuff are. Like that thing. There are at least a couple of enemies. Yeah, there's another good example. Hello, platforms, you are way too slow. I think there's a bolt in here, but I can't remember where exactly it is. Ah, there. Slide in, get it. Be quick about it. And that's the end of that stage, in that place. And the continue point. Astro Man stage doesn't have a mid-boss.
Ready.
So now we're into the second, whatever the heck you call this kind of area. Appearing, disappearing platform area, I guess. Those are not disappearing blocks. They don't make the right sound effect and they're not the right shape. They cannot be Yoku blocks. They do make this area rather... Whoa. I hate that part. Whoa! Yeah, you have to be too darn perfect with your timing on that. But that's the end of that, and it's time for the second looping maze. There's a bolt, there's our teleport exit. And this time we have Mets thrown into the mix. The enemies in these areas are few and harmless enough that you're not likely to die from collision damage. Okay. Party ball or whatever you call those that drops a med on me. Thanks a lot. But you might just die of boredom from doing the same area so many times. Okay, this is where I was before. Let's try, like, going a different direction this time, shall we? No, that's where I started. This second one is kind of a pain. Ooh, one up. I like those. Okay, let's see what's down path number 2. I haven't seen any sign of how to get to that bolt. I wonder if I can... Oh yeah, and I should mention that you do get hurt if you're standing on the top of one of those moving doors and it happens to hit the ceiling and you're still on top of it. I can't remember for sure if it counts as instant death, but it definitely at least takes damage, or deals damage. Okay. No. Yeah, this doesn't look hard, but it can be time-consuming. And back to the start. Where haven't I been yet? Okay, wait a minute. What if I don't think I've gone up there. Now I can't get out. So wait, if I have this switch up, and I can get out of the bottom path. And that gives me a boost to get up here. And that unlocked the teleport. Now let's see if I can't get that bolt. Little Mega Ball jump there. And good, the thing's already unlocked for me. Now I just need to get to there. Actually, I think the solution for the second one would be easier to memorize than the first. So, time for Astro Man, who fights in a virtual reality space background. I feel so embarrassed. Poor guy. Charge shots for this guy. Work. Half his health is done, and he's like hardly done anything threatening. He hasn't even used the attack that you get that corresponds to the weapon you get from him yet. Come on, Astro Man. Do something cooler. There you go. He appears and disappears like that. And you want to quickly move to the last place he appears in, because the Astro Crush comes down and the only safe place is where he last appeared. See, Astro Man's easy. Was that oh great or good grief or what? Poor Astro Man. He's so socially awkward. And so has such a lack of self-confidence. But that seems to... well, never mind. You beat Astro Man, you got the Astro Crush. You get only 4 shots of it, but it's the screen-clearing weapon of Mega Man 8. It basically causes a bunch of pink comets to come down and pretty much obliterate everything on the screen that isn't a boss. Astro Man seems to have gotten therapy since... or between Mega Man 8 and Mega Man and Base, though, because he's hard to beat in that game. At least he's a lot harder than he is in Mega Man 8. Phew! So, that's a foothold into the second half of the Robot Masters, and that's all for this one, so I'll see you next time.